How are
Yeah.
you?
Oh, hi, Rabbi Marc.
Yeah, good
I'm
to.
good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited about our chevruta session today. Our first one.
Yeah, me too.
So, what do you think? What part of this parsha really jumped out at you?
Uh, the burning bush.
Burning bush.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say more. Say more about it. What's wild about it for you?
Well, I mean, just the mental image of a bush that's on fire. That's you don't see that every day. And but then when I was thinking about it, well, I thought maybe it could represent something that we do see, which is that the earth is kind of on fire.
Wow.
And it's the same way that the bush wasn't consumed. Maybe the earth won't be consumed.
Oh, that's so great. What a great connection. Like, yeah, I know you're an environmentalist, so you care so much about the earth and the burning
I
earth.
try to be a hopeful environmentalist.
He's out there. He's a shepherd in Midian. Um, he's married the Zipporah, who is the daughter of the priest of Midian. And then he's just walking, and then suddenly it's like he sees this bush, and the Torah says this snake, the bush, and it was burning. Yiva'er below uchal. It was burning, but it didn't go out. It wasn't consumed. And then God spoke to him out of that bush, right?
Yeah.
So I want to hear more about your environmental message about it, but um, I think there's something about it that, for me, it's like you said, you don't see a burning bush every day. That's a burning bush that's not going out, but like there are things that are in front of our eyes every day, but we don't see them not because they're not there, but because we're not paying attention. And in a sense, sometimes we just have to stop what we're doing and say, "Wow, this is amazing. This moment is amazing." And then when we do that, God called Moshe out from the burning bush and says, "Moshe, Moshe," and Moshe says, "Hineni, Hineni, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here," which is what the echo of other voices like Abraham, who said that much earlier on. And there's something about that moment where Moshe stops and sees this incredible miracle, and he takes off his shoes and he recognizes that it's holy, holy ground.
Yeah, it's like he
I
stopped
just think
scrolling on his phone.
exactly. He stopped checking his text messages. He stopped all those alerts that people have going off, ding, 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 or and when we're doing all that, we can't possibly.
Just, looking at the phone and you don't see what's happening right next to you.
Exactly. So I think that's, for me, that's a powerful part of the message. It's also about a moment where Moshe has to wake up to become who he needs to become and stand up, and it takes him a long time. 40 years actually. So tell me more about the burning bush and seeing it like a planet.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's our planet is well. Sometimes it's literally on fire. You have these wildfires. Yeah, those are going to happen more and more, and the planet is heating up, and but maybe the planet is the bush, and the planet won't get consumed.
Wow. So I love that. So on one hand, we have to stop and notice the burning planet and do everything we can to change our ways. But what I love about it is your optimism and your sense of hope that it's not going to be totally consumed. We are going to save the planet.
Yeah,
Just
we can't stop trying. We can't just be like, oh, it'll be okay. God will take care of it. That we can't do that. But it could be a message of hope.
yeah, because Moshe almost gave up when he tried to get went back again and again and again to Pharaoh to say, "Let my people go, let my people go, let my people go." And it kept
Let my people go.
sometimes when we see all the obstacles, it's easy to just give up, throw our hands up in the air and say, "Ah, I can't do anything about it." But Moshe had to keep persisting, and I guess we have to keep persisting, whether we're environmental activists or working for justice or whatever else we're doing, because there's a lot of those themes run through this parsha, right?
Yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed that chevruta, enjoyed studying this parsha with you, Mikey Monster. I think maybe we'll leave it there for today, even though there's so much more that we could talk about in this parsha. But
In the meantime, we'll keep persisting.
we'll keep persisting, and we'll keep trying to notice those burning bushes and doing everything we can to make the world a better place, right?
Yeah.
Great.
All right. See you next time.
Next time, Mikey Monster. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Rabbi Marc.
Bye, Mikey Monster. That's great. Well, let's come back to that because a lot happens before that, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a very busy parsha.
Very busy parsha. And it begins with reminding us all the people who are there and all the people who've been living this very nice life, all of the Jacob's descendants, right? All of his kids and grandkids, and they've been living in the land of Goshen. And then it says, right, Melech Hadash, a new king, Vayakom Melech Hadash on Mitzrayim, a new king came over Egypt. Asher lo yada et Yosef, who didn't know Joseph, right? And so suddenly, rather than thinking, oh, these people are great, they have freedom, he started to get kind of suspicious of them, right? And so he basically made them into slaves, and that was pretty bad. And they started really suffering, and their cries really went out. And then it got even worse. There was a rule that the king, the pharaoh, made, which was, do you remember what it was?
They had to kill all the the babies.
Right, exactly. They had to kill all the firstborn male children, which was absolutely horrendous, right?
Yeah.
And the midwives, who are these women, these special women who helped the Israelite women give birth, they were commanded to, if there was a boy child, they'd have to take the baby and kill it. Awful, horrible, horrible story. But there were these two particular midwives, right? You remember their names? They're big heroes in this parsha.
Uh, Shifra.
Yep. Um,
Uh, uh,
pa, pa, pa,
Pua.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're real heroes because they the Torah says they fear God more than they fear Pharaoh, and they stood up to the tyranny and the power, and they saved a particular baby boy, and who was that boy?
Moshe.
Yeah, Moshe. He was put into a basket, put in his Nile, rescued by the Pharaoh's daughter, brought into the palace, grew up like as a prince of Egypt, which is the title of your favorite movie.
Yeah.
And then as he got older, he started becoming aware of the suffering of his people. He didn't even know they were his people, but he sort of got a sense that they were. And then there's another pretty difficult story. Remember that story? What does he do?
He puts the guy out of commission.
Yeah, you could say that. He sees a taskmaster, one of the Egyptians who was sort of whipping the Hebrew slaves and really making them suffer. And he looked around. Moshe looked this way. He looked that way. There was no one around, and so he took out this Egyptian taskmaster. And then it became known what he had done, and he ran away. He ran away to Midian, and then shortly after that we get to this story, right? So we can get that was a big big synopsis, but